boy, what the hell, boy?
Yep, that's what you call AI burger slop in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And that was just the third video result when I searched up Dragon Ball FighterZ replay on YouTube, by the way. A match uploaded by a channel that has most likely never played a single mid to high level match in their entire life existence. Like, honest to God, it's so fucking ass. We're gonna talk about this today. What is up, guys? Bonrad here, back with another video, and today we are doing a full breakdown, and I mean extensive breakdown on the current state of Dragon Ball FighterZ in the big 2026. The good, the bad, the absolute disaster, and the people who are somehow keeping this game alive despite everything that has been done to it and that is currently going on. And yes, we are going to talk about the AI replay channel situation at length. We are going to say names. There will be some drama, and this has been building up, for me at least, for a very long time, and honestly, I've sat on this long enough. Very quick thing before we get into it. I'm not making this video from the outside looking into it. I've been a Bardock main since season 2, or more like ever since I got into the game. I'm one of the best, and honestly one of the few remaining Bardock players that still actively play this game at an extremely high level. Everything I'm about to say comes from someone who's actually in this game every week, in tournaments, in the lab, and grinding these matches every day. So when I tell you what's happening in DBFZ right now, I'm not reading it off of a fucking Reddit thread. I'm living in it, I've lived through it, and let's just get straight into it. So, is Dragon Ball FighterZ dead? Because this is a question I see every single week without fail, and I mean every single week. And honestly, I have genuinely mixed feelings about this answer in a way that I didn't expect, because it's not a clean yes or no. It's more complicated than that, and I actually want to walk you through it properly. So let's start from the very top. Dragon Ball FighterZ at launch, and if you were there, you would know, was one of the most electric fighting games to come out in recent years. It was a massive Dragon Ball licensed IP. It was accessible enough that new players could get into it, but deep enough that the FGC embraced it extremely hard. The game was packed, ranked was surprisingly active, and your rank actually mattered at the time. Locals were popping off left, right, top, bottom, and center, like basically everywhere, and the scene was genuinely one of the most exciting in all of the FGCs at the time. Then, like all things happened, time happened, and I mean that in the way it happens to every single fighting game. The player pool started thinning, the next gen console rollback situation created this split, where you basically couldn't play with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 players, or vice versa with Xbox without any issues, since last gen consoles didn't have any rollback features, and that created the player pool in a way that was genuinely hard to watch. You'd queue up and you'd just be waiting, and when your average player waits too long, they don't just wait, they just quit the game entirely, and that's how it usually goes. But here's what I genuinely think that almost killed Dragon Ball FighterZ. And it wasn't the player numbers, it wasn't the age of the game, it wasn't even Bandai's terrible communication, which we are going to get into later, but it was the patch right before Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku dropped and the lab coat patch. Bro, when I tell you, these patches, they fucking almost killed the game in my opinion. I need you to really understand what these patches did to this game. Bandai went in, basically buffed every single character in the roster with brand new combo routes, new Oki options, new ways to convert off of basically anything. And hear me out, alright? On paper, these buffs sound amazing. It's like, oh, you're giving new life to this game, which is an amazing thing. There's more options, more expression, more creativity in the lab, basically all good things all around. Except what actually happened is that most characters all of a sudden had some form of new mix, new level 3 mix. They got like ridiculous ass mix, and it can honestly be genuinely oppressive to deal with, because I mean, you gotta really think that much to really know what's gonna go on. Like, hey, are you gonna get mixed as a cross up? Are you gonna get, for example, with a no Gohan, are you gonna get double crossed up? Are you gonna get hit with a low, high? What are you gonna get hit? You know, like something random. And it's honestly just a little bit more luck based over anything. And then there was the infamous Lab Coat 21 patch, and I need to talk about specifically about the Lab Coat 21 patch, because that character became the answer to literally everything. Like, and I mean everything. Oh, you have bad neutral? Oh, choose Lab Coat. Getting pressured? Lab Coat. Need a comeback mechanic? Lab Coat. The entire meta collapsed into this one character to the point where tournament results were starting to look homogenous. You tell me how that's a good for a game. It's fucking not. It's horrible. And a lot of good players who had been in this game for years, just looked at that situation and tapped out, because why are you gonna grind a game where one character is the answer to everything you try to do? Although she got patched, she's still a really strong character and left PTSD on the community because of it, including the fusion characters, because they were also the problem. So yeah, when people ask, is DBFZ dead? I completely understand them, and I genuinely get where that comes from, because if you walked away during that period, you saw a game that Bandai seemed completely fine letting run off the cliff, and that's a real feeling that real players had. But, and this is a big but, I was talking to my boy recently, the same dude who literally got me into this game in the first place. He told me he tried coming back to this game, and he's one of those players who put in some serious time back in the day. We're talking about like hundreds of hours, solid fundamentals. He used BNBs or bread and butter combos. He understood neutral, and he told me he sat down to play and felt completely lost and overwhelmed. His older combos, although they still connected fine, but the optimal routes, the new mix setups, the way the meta has evolved in terms of what punishes what, he didn't recognize the game whatsoever. And honestly, that hit different coming from him specifically, because this isn't someone who never played fighting games. This is someone who loved this game, and the fact that returning to it felt like learning a brand new title from scratch that is a real problem, because every time DBFZ needed to grow its player base, every new player or returning player who loaded it up hit that same exact wall. The game in its current state is a completely different game from what it was at launch. Not just in meta, in fundamental feel, in the way combos work, and what's viable and what isn't. And Bandai never once addressed that accessibility gap, never made a serious effort to bring new people up to speed on how much the game had changed. They just kept patching and assuming people would figure it out. Now, here's where I land on the is it dead question. It's absolutely not dead, but it's also not alive in the way that it used to be. It's in, I guess, what you could call a legacy phase. It's a game that a dedicated, passionate community has kept breathing through sheer stubbornness and for the love of the game. Dragon Pit, which is ran by Last of the Starks, Motivation Academy by Neo Judai, CEO Bring Your Own Controller Evo for this year specifically, and HOC, or better known as House of Chaos, ran by Bum. And there's many more tournaments, but all of these tournaments are packed with real players putting in real work, and the Super Saiyan 4 Daima DLC dropping this year, and by it being mentioned by Evo back in 2025, these aren't just small things. These are signs that the game still has a heartbeat, it still has a pulse. It just needed the right people to keep that pulse going, instead of letting the wrong people define what Dragon Ball FighterZ content looks like in 2026. Which brings me to exactly what I want to talk about next. Alright, so why does DBFZ content on YouTube feel extremely terrible right now? Like, if you go and search for high level DBFZ gameplay, which you should be able to do and which should be extremely easy, what do you find? Oh yeah, we already saw that answer in the intro. You find AI slop. Although these matches are completely authentic, you find thumbnails that were clearly generated by AI, descriptions that were clearly written by ChatGPT and not being put by some other random ass shit, channels that have most likely never touched ranked in their life uploading, oh, this is high level Dragon Ball FighterZ gameplay every single day. And I want to explain to you how exactly these channels work, because I think some of you might not fully understand the model they're running. These are considered content farms, and that's the honest description. They pull replay footage, often from tournament streams, often from content creators who actually play the game, often from matches that happen in specific context that mean something, and they strip all of that context out entirely, and then they run everything through AI. Ooh, let me be specific about what I mean by everything. The thumbnail? Oh, fucking generated on Grok or vidIQ. You can tell because the character proportions are slightly off, the background doesn't match any fucking stage in the game, and the text has that specific look that any AI image generator produces when they try to render something stylized. The description? Oh, that shit must have been slapped on by fucking ChatGPT or something, because you can tell it's perfectly structured, and sometimes it'll use bullet points in a way that no actual fucking DBFZ player talks, and it fucking never mentions anything specific about where the match came from. Oh, the channel battle? Oh, copy pasted from ChatGPT like my homework back in 2022. Same fucking patterns. Generic. Oh, we bring you the best Dragon Ball FighterZ content from around the world type of fucking energy that tells you nothing about who is running the channel or what they actually know about the fucking goddamn game. And and the thing is, and this is what genuinely fucking pisses me off the fucking most, the fucking context of the match is the whole point. Like, the context is what makes the replay worth watching. Was this a $1,000 money match set at the Dragon Pit? Was this a grand final set at HOC or at the Motivation Academy? Was this just some random ass ranked game? That fucking matters. That is what makes you care about the outcome. That's what makes you invested in what you're watching. When you strip that out and just throw two fucking character names in a title and an AI thumbnail over it, you have not made fucking content. You have made absolutely nothing except AI slopped garbage, like on some burger shit. You've taken something that is so fucking authentic that someone else created, you removed everything that made it meaningful, and fucking monetized it with AI shit on top of it. Now, a tournament organizer, someone who's been actively running these events since I don't know how long, but I've known them for a good minute. Someone who sees where this footage is coming from came to me with a list of channels doing this, and I want to specifically talk about two of these motherfuckers, alright? We're talking about Zeus's and Be a Pro FGC. These are channels that are actively uploading Dragon Ball FighterZ content, specifically replay content, and Zeus's, and specifically, he's uploading also Invincible versus content with no fucking context. It's all just AI generated packaging. The thumbnails are AI, the fucking descriptions are AI, the fucking bios are AI. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, there's no credit to where the matches are coming from, no credit to the tournament organizers, no credit to the players, no mention of whether the match was a ranked match, a money match, a tournament set, a local, fucking absolutely nothing. You are just supposed to watch two fucking fellas play and be fine with that, with zero context. And look, alright, I'm not saying you can't ever make a replay channel. I'm not saying replay content is bad, because they're completely not. Replays can be incredible content when they're done completely right, but there's a right way and there's a wrong way, and the difference is not that fucking complicated. The right way is you tell me who played, you tell me where it happened, you tell me why it matters. Was it a tournament? Was it a money match? Which one? What round? Was there money on the line? Was it a rivalry set? Was it someone else's tournament debut? All that fucking shit matters, and it makes it mean something. And the one channel in this space that actually get this fucking right, shout outs to them, is fucking Fighting Dreamers. If you guys haven't seen my interview with them, go check it out. I'll leave it in the card up below. Here's why this actually matters beyond it just being super disrespectful, and I want you to really think about this. Remember that search result from the intro, that fake fucking burger slop? Well, here's a better one, alright? It's on screen right now. For a new DBFZ player, right, when they go to YouTube and search for DBFZ gameplay, that's gonna be their first impression of what this game's content looks like. A match with a character that doesn't fucking exist. It's got fucking female Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku on that bitch, and not only that, it's uploaded by a channel that clearly has never played the game. You know what that person will most likely do? Oh, they're just gonna fucking click off the video and watch something else. They don't subscribe to the game. They don't get interested in the competitive scene. They just fucking move on. And every time that happens, that's a potential new player in the FGC and in the DBFZ community has just lost. Not because the game wasn't good enough, but because the content that was supposed to introduce them to the game was fucking absolute garbage filled with AI slop on it. And here's the keyword situation, because I think this needs to be said out loud. The search term DBFZ replay gets searched about 17,000 fucking times a month on YouTube. 17,000 every month. That is 17,000 people actively looking for high-level DBFZ content, and right now a massive chunk of what they find is AI slop from channels that have never touched fucking any sort of fucking skill level in DBFZ, mid to high level. The real creators, the ones who actually play the game, actually show up to tournaments, the ones who actually have to say something about what they're showing you, are being buried under that content farm output. That is honestly genuinely damaging to the health of DBFZ's content ecosystem, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. Alright, so we've talked about the patches. We've talked about the AI channel burger slop. We've talked about the accessibility problem, and now let me tell you what's actually left. And honestly, what is actually left is really solid if you know where to look. Because here's the thing about this community that I think gets lost in the DBFZ is dead conversation. The players who love this game are genuinely some of the most dedicated people I have ever seen, and in the entire FGC community. Like, I'm talking about people who have been playing since 2018, who love this game constantly, who travel for events, who run their own tournaments for it. Those people did not go anywhere. They're still here. They're still going crazy. And the proof is in the events that are currently happening right now. Dragon Pit, although it's running every every Friday, and right now is currently on a small break because Last of the Starks is currently moving, is still running consistently. And if you have not watched a single Dragon Pit episode or a set, you are genuinely missing out on some of the best DBFZ content you could ever find online. Starks built something real with this UFC style money match pay-per-view type of event every Friday, and the level of play in those brackets is legitimately impressive. Motivation Academy by Neo is still running till this day. Even like after I took this break, it's still running till this day. CEO had DBFZ on the card, Evo has it still, and Evo in France in 2025 announced DBFZ. And I don't want to brush the past because of that, because Evo France is not a small thing, it's a major international event. Putting Dragon Ball FighterZ on their lineup, that is a statement that this game's competitive relevance in 2025 and beyond is still super strong. And then there's the Super Saiyan 4 Diamond Goku DLC dropping, which dropped in April. Now I have complicated feelings about Bandai as a company for what they did to this game's balance over the years. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. I mean, they did some fucked up shit regarding the communication with us, but a new DLC character in 2026 after god knows how long means Bandai isn't completely done with this game, and it just means that there's still investment happening in the low. And if they can follow up with that with an actual meaningful balance work instead of just throwing buffs at every character and giving every little thing of fucking TODs and calling that a patch, and there's a real chance that Dragon Ball FighterZ's revival is not just a moment but an actual sustained comeback for this game. And I want to talk about Bardock specifically for a second because I think it illustrates something important about the current state of the game. Bardock used to be considered one of the best characters in the game, but now is considered one of the lowest tiers by the community. He's been ranked below characters like Majin Buu and tier list, which is honestly in my opinion fucking disrespectful in its own right, but that's a different video. And despite that, I still fucking play him. I still play him at a high level. I have labbed solo sparkless TODs with them. I played him in tournaments. I made him. Not because he's easy or because the meta favors him, but because I understand him at a level where I can compete with top tier characters anyway. And that to me is what Dragon Ball FighterZ is at its best. A game where understanding your character deeply enough can overcome the meta, where the lab time and the matchup knowledge and the mental game actually matter, where you can take a lower tier character and make it work because you've put that kind of time that most players haven't. That game still exists. It's still in there underneath all the broken patches and all the AI SLOP content farms and the is it dead Reddit posts. That game is still there, and that's why real players haven't left, because it's such a good fucking game. So what needs to happen for DBFZ to actually complete this comeback? A few things first. Bandai needs to make a real commitment to balance that considers new players accessibility, not just adding new tools to already strong characters. The game needs a path for returning players that doesn't feel like starting from zero. That's on Bandai. Second, this is on us as content creators and the community. We need to actively drown out the AI slop, not just complain about it. Drown it out. If you're watching this video and you play Dragon Ball FighterZ at any level, the best thing you can absolutely do for this game's content ecosystem and for its community is to make something fucking real. Record your ranked games, record your tournament sets, put actual context in your titles, your descriptions, your thumbnails, credit the tournaments you got your footage from, and to Zeus's and Be a Pro FGC specifically. And I'll also call out to the rest of the other people that are doing this replay channel that involves using AI or is actually just pumping out this pump and dump type shit. I know you guys are going to see this eventually. The tournament organizers are talking about this. The players are noticing the community is not as asleep as you guys might think. All I'm asking, genuinely asking, is that you credit the tournament organizers, the event organizers, crediting the players, telling the people where the footage came from, because the matches you're uploading happened at events that people poured their time and money into organizing. Last of the Starks didn't build Dragon Pit so you could strip the content out of its layer sets and monetize them without a single mention of where they came from. HOC by Bum didn't run their events so you could use them as a content farm with an AI thumbnail slapped right on top of it. Do fucking better, and it genuinely isn't even a fucking high of a bar. Fighting Dreamers clears this every single day and every single week. So can you. Please put in some fucking goddamn effort into this shit. And I'm personally calling out every single one of you AI slop bitches out to fucking fight me on a money match. I'll put $20 per fucking player of this AI replay shit down right now, and I'll fight every single one of you and most likely beat you, because you guys are probably ass at the game. So either start putting in this shit some real effort, or you guys can go fucking kindly fuck off and get beat the fuck up by me, someone who's using the bottom tier. Anyways, that is my full honest take on the current state of Dragon Ball FighterZ in the big 2026. The good, the bad, and the absolutely shithole. You tell me, do you think AI replay channels are actually hurting the FGC? Do you think DBFZ can fully come back from where it currently is being revived? Is the tournament scene enough to carry it? Honestly, just put everything down in the comments, because I actually want to see what you guys think about this, because honestly, I find this super ridiculous. Thank you for watching. If you ended up liking the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.